What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over which credit cards I personally use to run all of my businesses, as well as why I use credit cards and the psychology behind what is the benefit of running a business on credit, basically, and not using your own money up front. So we're going to be covering all that and more in today's video, so let's get into it. What's up guys, my name is Hannah Gardner. If you're new to the channel, I talk about mainly how to build brands online and a lot of entrepreneurship stuff as well. If that is what you're into, make sure you smash that subscribe button because I put out videos regularly. The way that I like to use credit cards is for cash back. If you're looking for, to know more about credit cards for other benefits, this really isn't the video for you, because the reason I personally use credit cards is for the cash back benefit. So the cards that I'm explaining today are really gonna be the best cards out there for that benefit. With credit cards, I don't spend money on credit cards that I don't have, and that's where you get really dangerous with credit cards. Again, the only reason that I use credit cards is for these rewards. That's basically it. So if you need the credit cards to actually have capital to buy stuff, that's awesome, but just know, like, if you don't pay it back, you have huge amounts of interest that you're gonna be accruing every single month. Or that's media buying for like Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Instagram ads, whether that's for inventory, whether that's for software, whatever it is, I put every single expense, or I try to put every single expense on my credit cards. There's an exception of a few things that you can't really put on your credit cards, like my rent in my office or my employee wages. That has to come directly out of my bank account. There is some exceptions, but if there's an opportunity for me to charge my credit card, I do that. And when you actually do the calculations of the amount of cash back that I personally get, or for my business being an online store owner, you get a significant amount of cash back. So last year alone, I think I made it at least $15,000 just in cash back. And I'm gonna explain how I actually did that for my business specifically, which is obviously what I talk about in my channel, which is how to build a brand online via e-commerce. So let's hop into my main recommendations for new online store owners' credit cards. Hey guys, so the first two cards that I'm going to explain are really going to be a good fit for you if you don't plan on spending money on media buying. Media buying mean in e-commerce, the e-commerce world, is if you're not going to be running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads to drive traffic, Google ads to your website, the first two cards are probably going to be a better fit because you're going to almost probably make the same amount of money back. I'm going to explain later on why it's really, really important to use a different set of cards if you are planning on spending a significant amount of money on, Google ads, Facebook ads, media buying platforms like, Snapchat, whatever it is. If not, the best that I've seen when it comes to just a standard cashback credit card that I've personally seen, again, do your own research. This is just what I do, and I really like getting these benefits. The best that I've really seen out there is getting 2% cash back for a business credit card and a 2% cash back for any purchase. So there's a lot of cards that will say, oh, we'll get 3% back on this, 2% back on that, or 4% back on certain purchases. Like, I don't eat out at restaurants that much to really have a business credit card that's for 4%, right? I really want all of my purchases getting me the max cash back possible. That's just the way that I look at it. Again, this is just all my opinion, so you don't have to listen to this at all. The first one that I'm going to show you here is this card here, which is the American Express Business Cashback. And when I say the max cash back without an annual fee, so I'm looking for like the cheapest cards that are going to give me the most. And usually if you're a small business, really spending a bunch of money in the beginning. We did in our first year, but I also knew how to do Facebook ads and Google ads already going into my business. A lot of people that don't, it might take you a little bit more time when you're getting into online e-commerce. So this card right here is a good card because there's a 0 annual fee. You have that bonus there. You get a $5,000 statement credit, earn up to $500, but earn $250 statement credit after you spend $5,000 in qualifying purchases within the first 6 months, plus earn an additional $250 statement credit after you spend an additional $10,000. So you're not planning on spending $10,000 in the first 6 months, which you actually might in 6 months. You'll be surprised how fast expenses accrue over as you're running a business and turning over product. So that actually might be really attainable. You're gonna get 2% cash back on eligible purchases up to $50,000 a year. If you don't think you're gonna spend over $50,000 a year, I would say this is a really good card for you. And it does say eligible purchases here, but actually when you look up the definition of the 2% cash back, eligible purchases in their terms here are purchases for goods and services. So it's basically everything that you're getting that 2% for minus returns and other credits. Again, what I'm looking for personally is getting 2% on all of my purchases. So pretty much goods and services is like every single thing that I'm paying for. And it's not limiting it to just software or just dining or flights or anything. It's basically any good or service. So a flight or your product, it's still a goods or service. So you're going to get that 2% cash back. If you plan on spending more than $50,000 and not doing Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, I would say the Spark business card. This is the one that I personally have. I have this one plus the Amex ones that I'm going to talk about here in a second. This one does have an annual fee, but if you plan on spending over $50,000 in expenses the first year, that's already $1,000. But again, if you plan on spending over $50,000, that's already $1,000 right there. So you're going to earn 1,000 minus 150, which is $850 right there just from spending over $50,000. And this is 2% cash back on every purchase with no minimums or expiration date. That's a really, really powerful card right there. And sorry, actually their intro offer is actually a really good intro offer. When you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, you're going to get a $500 credit. That's really cool. Actually, that's the intro offer that I was looking for before. So, I mean, again, I think when you're first starting a business, like you spend money pretty fast. $5,000 isn't that much to spend in 3 months when you start paying for stuff, essentially, especially if you start running paid traffic. So those are the two first cards that I say that are really the cheapest that you're getting max benefit. But let's hop into the other cards that I use and how powerful these cards are when you actually start spending a significant amount of money on media buying. The next card is the American Express Business Gold Card. The reason I specifically use this card is for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is that it gets you 4x points when you purchase in 2 categories listed here. And one of those categories is US purchases for advertising in select media online. As an e-commerce store owner, like for instance, great example, I spent over $150,000 on Facebook ads. That is considered an online advertising charge to the Amex card. And so Amex is gonna recognize that charge and it's gonna give you 4 times the points every single time you spend money on Instagram ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Google, Snapchat, whatever it is. As long as the charge comes through as some form of media buying online, you are gonna be eligible for the 4x points. That is not just where it stops there. So with this trick, specifically for people that are doing media buying for e-commerce, the real beauty in this is not only are you getting that 4x points, which is going to definitely surpass this $295 annual fee, there's another card that if you partner it with this Amex Gold card, something else really cool happens. I don't just have the Amex Gold card, I also have the Charles Schwab Platinum card. And so when you have the Amex Gold card and you have the Charles Schwab Business Platinum card, which this card is $695 a year, but even still, if you're spending enough money on Facebook and Instagram and Google ads, you're going to make back your money like tenfold on that initial investment for the cards if you're spending the right amount of money every single year. Say you spend $150,000 times 4, you're gonna get 600,000 points. So I took this 600,000 points and just cashed out straight away. Let's just do a little math here to show you an example of what that would actually equate to in cash. So right here, as you can see, I can cash out this charge for $949, but the amount of points needed is $1,582. Let's see what this actually breaks down to. If I do $949 divided by, what do we say, 1582 points. Basically, it's saying essentially 1 point is the equivalent to 0.006 cents. If I go ahead and times 600,000 times 0.006, if I were to cash out my 600,000 points right now, I would be able to cover about $3,600 of purchases. With that being said, if I actually go ahead and open a second American Express card, and this card is the Charles Schwab Platinum Amex card, which costs around $695 which is totally fine as long as you're spending enough money where this actually makes sense. What the cool feature about this card does, what it allows you to do, it allows you to invest your rewards. Instead of getting 0.006 cents per point of cash, you actually end up getting 0.011 per point of cash. So what that actually ends up coming back to is whatever you spent, because remember, I spent $150,000. When I times my 600,000 points that I earned from spending $150,000 by 0.011, it almost comes out to about 4.4% cash back, which you're not gonna find 4.4 cash back on any business credit card except this, and by doing this method. As you can see here, if I go ahead and I multiply 600,000 rewards points times 0.011, I'm actually gonna end up getting around $6,600 back. And if I divide $6,600 of cash back divided by 150,000, which is what I spent to make that $6,600, that comes out to 4.4% of cash back. And now how you actually do that is by opening the American Express Business Gold card, and then also the Charles Schwab Business Platinum card. And once you have both accounts under the same business name, you'll be able to view both credit cards in one dashboard. And then as you start accruing points, you'll see a button here that says invest your rewards under your reward points. And when you do this, you cash out at a 4.5% cash back off of your spend, and it deposits to a Charles Schwab brokerage investor account. Now, in theory, obviously what Charles Schwab wants you to do is to take that money and invest it in something, either stocks or bonds or whatever, you can invest it in if you want. But if you just want to get the cash back, you can sync this Charles Schwab brokerage account straight back to your debit card and transfer that money back into your account. So that $6,600 clearly covers the $295 Amex Platinum card fee plus the $695 Charles Schwab credit card fee per year. So even though you're spending $1,000 a year on the cards, if you're spending enough money on ads, which this should be your goal eventually, if you're not ready for this now, hopefully one day you will be. If you do this method, you're going to be making the max amount of money back possible. Not to mention that you're going to get all the perks in the airport. The perks, you get a $20 Uber credit, perks with Saks Fifth Avenue. There's so many benefits to having the Amex cards, as well as Amex is one of the few cards that once you show them that you're a really responsible credit card holder, they really kind of give you an unlimited budget to spend every single month. Obviously, with that being said, you should be paying off your credit card payment every month, ideally paying it off fully every time you have a billing statement. Those are the credit cards that I highly recommend and personally use for my own store. I hope you guys got some value out of this video, and I will see you guys in my next video.